All right, so here's an idea for growing tons of herbs in a really small space. Come join me in the chaos. All right, so crazy coincidence. So I've been wanting one of these raised beds so that I can do a little herb garden. My daughters are really into cooking right now, and so is my wife, and they use a lot of herbs. And the last time I looked at the receipt, buying herbs at the store, and it's like ridiculous now. I don't know if you guys have looked how much herbs are being, or how much they're charging for herbs at the grocery store, but it's like $5 to $10 for like a bundle of herbs that you can easily just chuck seeds in your garden and come back, a month later and you have herbs. So it's just ridiculous. So here's an idea of how I'm going to save myself money, and a suggested way that you could also save yourself money is get yourself some type of a planter, such as this one, and set up a little herb garden, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to unbox this thing so we can check it out. All right, so here's a little close-up on the box. I know when I see stuff like this, I always want to know more. So here's your dimensions. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the box. So I was actually impressed because I put this in the garage near my workspace so that I wouldn't forget about it, and then it started raining. And so I got really nervous because water was near it. So this is a pretty nice box. It's rained for the last couple days in a row. I'm so glad it didn't destroy the box. Let's see if I can do this without damaging the box too much. This is impressive. I mean, the pieces are packaged together really well. What impresses me though is the thickness of the metal. And I realized that when I picked up the box, because the box, I don't know how much it weighs, I would guess 20 or 30 pounds. But it's really thick metal. I don't know if you can see that. So, however thick that is, just over a millimeter. So it's pretty solid steel. Looks like all the parts are there. I'm gonna go get my tools and put this thing together. Okay, it's all assembled. It's ready for me to put soil and plants into. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to buy ready-made herbs or just seed them myself. I'm a big fan of growing everything from seed, but it's kind of late in the season, so I'll think about it. But yeah, it's a pretty solid bed. I'm surprised how solid it was. It is. As I was putting it together, I mean, the pieces are very solid, but I wasn't sure how well they'd, how solid it would be after assembled. But I mean, it doesn't even really move. And I was realizing that if I put, 50 pounds of soil in here, it's got to be pretty sturdy. And sure enough, it's pretty solid. It makes sense why they used the thicker steel, since it's going to have wet soil, which will probably make it really heavy. And so I like how it has a little hole for water to come out. So pretty impressed. It's a nice little bed. Again, it's by BioGreen. So if you're interested, I'll put a link for this thing. All right, one small detail I overlooked. I didn't know what these little L's were. And so these are little plastic feet. So if you decide to put this thing indoors, obviously it might scratch your floor. And so they even thought of that. They include these little feet that you can put on the bottom that make it so it won't scratch your hardwood floor, which is nice because if I bring this thing in the house in the winter, I don't want to worry about scratching my floors. So it's a pretty cool little extra thought. I guess I couldn't even realize what it was.